friend. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to my channel, Excel Graphics and Multimedia. My name is Rafi Yakubu right here. And in today's video, you are going to learn how to create amazing business flyer using Photoshop step-by-step tutorial. But before we dive deep into the tutorial, if you are very new to this channel, remember to click on the subscribe, turn on notification bell, so each time I post content about Photoshop tutorial like this, you'll be notified. So with that being said, let's dive into the tutorial and see how you can create amazing business flyer using Photoshop step-by-step print ready template. So let's begin. So the first thing you want to do is to go to File from the Home tab right here and make sure you click on New. All right, so at the top right here, you have to type to your design. Just click on that and then type in business flyer. Next thing you want to do is to come to the width column right here. So under the width column, you have to type in 5.103. That is for the width column size. Then you have to come to the height column size right here, and make sure you type in 7.213. Then you have to come to your resolution column right here. Make sure your resolution is 300. Then your color should always be set to be CMYK, just like what you have right here. So finally, you come down below here. Make sure you click on Create. What we need to do right here is to go to our toolbar right here. We click and hold down. Then you make sure you choose your rectangle shape. Then having choose your rectangle shape, you have to come to the workspace right here and draw a perfect rectangle. Just press Shift key and Alt key on your keyboard. This allows you to draw. Then you have to go to your move tool right here and take the rectangle to the workspace. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is to make a duplicate of this rectangle. For you to do that, just have to go to your layer right here, right click on the layer. Then you have to look for duplicate layer. Then you click on OK. Boom. So you can see we have two different layers. So the second duplicate rectangle, we just have to adjust it, and we make sure it aligns to the first rectangle, and we maintain a little bit gap between them. Next thing we want to do right here is to go back to our layer right here. We press Shift key and select the first rectangle. So what you want to do right here is to go to Home tab right here. Then we go to Edit. From Edit, we look for Free Transform. Now, the next thing we need to do is to rotate this particular rectangle. So for you to do that, you just have to come to the angle from the Home tab right here. At the point here, make sure you type in 45 degree. Boom. So having typed in 45 degree, then the rectangle is giving you something like this. So the next thing you want to do is to drag the two rectangles. Is to drag them and give them a proper alignment. So once you're satisfied with the alignment, you have to come to the top right here and click on this check mark to accept the transform. All right, so the next thing you want to do is to make a duplicate of these two rectangles right here. So for you to do that, the first thing you need to do is to come to the top bottom right here. Make sure you group them, and you can call this one rectangle 1. Then the next thing you want to do is to right click and make sure you duplicate the group. Then you can call this one rectangle 2, and then you click on OK. So at this point here, you have to go back to your Home tab right here. You go to Edit. From Edit, make sure you look for Free Transform. Now, what you need to do is to take this new duplicate and take it to the top. Once you're satisfied with the adjustment, next thing you want to do is to come to the top right here. Make sure you click on here to accept the transform. Now, the next thing you want to do right here is to look for this particular rectangle. Then you have to come to the layer right here, right click on the layer, and you have to look for duplicate layer, and you can name this one rectangle 3, and then you click on OK. So this third rectangle right here, you have to drag it out from the group. So for you to drag out, you just have to take it to the top of the group like this, then you have it that way. So next thing you need to do is to select on the layer. Then having select on the layer, you have to drag the layer out from the rest of the group right here, and then you have to make sure it aligns with this one right here. So next thing we need to do is to duplicate these three rectangle third. Then you have to right click on the layer and make sure you click on duplicate layer. So we can make this one rectangle 4, and we click on OK. Now we have to change the color so we'll be able to differentiate them. So for you to change the color, just double click on the layer thumbnail right here, and then you can pick the color from here and click on OK. Now this duplicate one right here, we have to take it into this page right here. And then we have to make sure everything is overlay. So for you to make it overlay, we have to select on this rectangle 2 layer. Then we make a new layer. Then we have to fall back to this rectangle 4. Then we drag the layer to this particular new layer that we just created. We can fall back to this layer and we press the Delete key on our keyboard. Then we have to fall back to this rectangle 4 layer right here. Then having fall back to the rectangle 4 layer, we need to make sure this is properly aligned this way. All right, so the next thing we want to do right here is to locate this layer right here, and then we right click on the layer right here. We make sure we click on duplicate layer. So this one can be rec 5, and we click on OK. So next thing we need to do is to double click on the layer right here. We can choose this same color. This allows us to differentiate from one another. Then we have to adjust this one right here, and we make it snap at the top this way. All right, so the next thing we need to do is to look for this particular layer right here, and once we locate the layer, we have to right click on the third layer right here, third rectangle layer. We make sure we duplicate layer, and this one can be rec 6. Then we click on OK. Then we have to make sure we change the color. So we double tap on this layer right here, and then we pick the color from here and we click on OK. Now what we're going to do right here is to make sure we adjust it in a little bit, and we make sure we maintain our proper alignment this way. Okay. So next thing we want to do is to bring in the picture to our flyer. So we can start from this layer right here, and then we go to the home tab right here. So what we want to do right here is go to File, and then we look for Place Embedded. Then we have to locate this layer, and we go to File, and we look for Place Embedded. Having put in all pictures into the flyer, the next thing you want to do is to add appropriate color to your design. So we can start from this layer right here, locate this layer, then you have to come to the layer thumbnail. And what you need to do right here is to double click on the layer thumbnail. This allows you to see a color wheel, then you can pick the color of your choice. So you can see the color code I use right here. So I'm going to highlight the color code. I will right click. I'll make sure I copy the color code. Then I'll click on OK. Then I'll have to look for this layer right here. Then I will double click on the layer thumbnail. Then right here, I will paste the color code here. Control A to highlight, Control V to paste. So you can see the color code, and I'll click on OK. Then I have to locate this layer right here. Then I will come to the layer thumbnail. I will double click on the layer thumbnail. Then right here, you can see I'm going to paste the same color code right here. Control V to paste. So we have all the shapes to have the color. So the next thing I want to do is to come to the blend mode right here, and I will make sure I choose linear bond. Then I'll have to select this one right here. I'll come to the blend mode right here. I'll make sure I choose the same blend mode, linear bond. Then I will have to select on this. I'll come to the blend mode. I'll make sure I choose linear bond. So we have everything perfectly in this place. So the next thing I'm going to do is to enter text into my business flyer. Okay.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?